in our last meeting, we had only these two tables, and you had asked to expand it and get more tables with more foreign keys and primary keys. So after the last session, I increased the columns, added more attributes, and also I got the employers, the job seekers, applications, and commissions as you have suggested. And I increased the number of records to 10,000. So, uh, yeah, I had some issues with the previous data which I was already working on.
Yeah, we'll discuss one by one.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. Let's discuss the database design first and we'll go to that.
Yeah.
So normally what happens is, see, you don't create different tables for different types of users. Okay. For any organization, there will be only one table where all users will be there, irrespective of whether he's an employer, he's a candidate, or he's a employee, or any third party person. Okay. So all users normally is stored in only one place, in one table.
Okay.
But you will have a column called user type. Okay. So in that user type column, you mention what kind of user he is. Basically, his role. He's an employee role, or his role is a candidate, or he's an employer, something like that. Okay. So like that we do it. But we will give you the original design which we have. Then applications is fine. Okay. Because but let's see the columns which you have: application ID, job seeker ID, job role, employee ID, this status. See, there are in the application there are many other fields which are missing. For example, let's say skills which are required for that application, right?
Yeah.
That is missing. Placement data. See, name, age, gender. We never store in placement data in any table. These all should be there only in the users table. And also we don't store age. We store date of birth. And based on the date of birth, always we calculate what is the age.
Okay.
Because if you store age as, let's say today as 20, right? Then what happens next year? Will you change it again? No, right? So always we store date of birth, and then age is always calculated value. Gender also should be in the user table. Education should be a different table altogether, because if for one user there will be multiple education records, right? For example, what you in SSLC, what are the details you have? What are the score you had? Which are the subjects you had? Then in 10+2, you will have one record. For graduation, you will have. Master degree, you will have. Right? So education should be separate table altogether. And in that table, records will be based on the user ID. So let's say your user ID is 5, right? So 5 user ID, class SSLC, what is the score? Which is the year you passed out. Getting the point?
Yeah, I got
So you need to split out education table separately. Skills table also should be separate. What are the skills that user has? Then salary also should be a separate table actually. Okay, because your salary also will be recorded. In different years, you will have a different salary. Whenever you get promotion, your salary gets changed. So what is the increment in your salary, right? The salary should be a separate table.
But this is for placements, right? So once he gets a job, it's a predefined salary. So once his promotion and all, it's not exactly mattering to the GTS, right?
Yeah, it will map. See, initially when he is placed, that means a salary is offered to him, right?
Yeah.
But that same placement data will continue for until he is in the organization.
Okay. So his
right?
changes in the
So,
organization should also come in this table.
Mhm.
Okay.
Salary should be there as per the organization ID, like or client ID. Let's say when you are working in this year for this particular client or account, your salary will be this. Next year you are working on this organization or this account, so your salary will be this. So basically, salary part also could be separately taken out, so that only on salary you can do so many of reports.
Okay.
Like you want to calculate, highest paid candidates with highest paid salary, top 5 candidates who are paid highest in this particular financial year, right? So those are all kind of record you can fetch from there. That is why it is normally put into separate table.
Yeah.
Then what else? Job seeker. Okay, so I told you. Yeah, so you do one more round of revision on this. There is no end. Always something can be changed and improved. But you do one more round, then we will show you what exactly tables we have currently.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you are going to use the tables we have, but we wanted to give you the exercise so you learn how to do it.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is one more table. What is this? Commission.
Commissions. Yeah.
Commission. What is it for?
So based on the kind of revenue which we have, a certain percentage of the commission will be taken for the training institute.
For the different.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this commission thing can be a separate table. Yeah, that is fine. Okay, so you note it down, or maybe you can watch this recording and
Yeah.
then you can correct
Yeah.
it.
The thing
Okay,
is,
let's
the
move on.
reason which I had left placement data and financial data as it is because I wanted to extract the employees and job seekers from that table. So I put like most of the details specific to the job seeker and employer there. So extraction would be it will make more sense than to generate separate CSV files. So that's why. But I'll make the changes which you suggested.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next slide.
So
Okay, these are the queries and all you have to get.
yeah, these are the importing of the data, and I had a lot of issues because the generated CSV files were in different date formats. There was a lot of blank spaces, so it took me some time to clean the data. But yeah, it's fine now.
Anyway, these all will be modified now based on the DB design. So do one thing. Don't do this step. First, you do only the DB design part. Once it is being approved, right? Then
Yeah.
you write the queries. So that
Okay.
you don't have to do rework.
Yeah. Okay.
And do you see any data which might go in the form of PDF or Word file?
Sorry.
Do you see any data which might be there as a resume, let's say, Word file, like
Okay.
that?
So you're saying instead of CSV Word file?
Not CSV. I'm saying, see, when somebody is applying for a job,
Yeah. Hello.
you are not audible actually.
No, I couldn't hear you. So,
Is it now?
yeah, you were speaking and then it just suddenly cut off. Yeah, it's working now.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm saying is, see, when somebody applies for a job, what he sends a resume, right, in Word file or PDF file,
Yeah.
right? So you have to think from the starting point, right? So in your application, let's say if you have placement data, before placement, what happens? Somebody applies, and then you have the application, right? So
Yeah.
applications will have some basic data associated with a Word file, let's say.
Okay.
So that Word file need to be processed.
Okay.
So for that also you have to do some work. So can you go to your case study once? Let's review that. To make sure that we are making all. Okay, data collection, collect the data from the placement section, including job seeker, placement, data, job roles, and employer details. Financial data, including revenue generated from the job placement, and employer contract. See, you need some more tables also, right? So resume is not required because that stage will be done in other cases. Okay.
Okay.
So that is fine. So in this, in your DB design, if I see,
Also,
come back. I just want to see what is, if anything is missing or not, right? So job placement details, you will have job roles, you will have employer details, you will have. Then see, for employer details, see, employee is an user. Okay.
yeah.
When you log in as an employee, so that employee could be a HR, he could be an admin. They are the employer, basically, or he is an employee also, right?
Well,
So when you say employer, what are the columns will be there for an employer?
also not only
What
the
kind of details?
company, but also the person in the company, you're saying? Like his role?
Yes, when you say that employer details, so what are the part of employer details?
The employer name, the employer's location, the industry which the employer is from, and the ID,
Yeah,
right?
employer ID. Yeah. So those are the employer details, right?
Yeah.
So so there should be a separate table for employer.
I've made one.
You made one, that is correct. So I told you to merge. So I think employer you don't need to merge because employer is an establishment. He is not a user. But the people who are working, they are the users.
Okay.
So employer is fine actually. Okay, so that is fine. That you retain. Then financial data including revenue generated for the job placements, training programs. Okay, so you don't have a table for training programs, right?
No, I have the revenue type and then these three of them.
Right. So you need to have one table for skills, one table for training programs, and in the training programs, skills will be mapped. So for example, you are creating a training for, let's say, from Jan to March for 3 months. You are creating a training program for Java or
Okay.
for let's say for data analyst. Okay,
Okay.
position. Now, for that training, what are the skills you are going to teach? That you will mention in that table. So training number 1, I want to teach 2, 3, 4 skills. Training number 2, I want to teach 10, 11, 13, these skills. Right?
Yes.
So there should be 2 different tables. One table for skills, one table for training programs.
And they
And
should be
then for
connected from skills.
and then for every training program, there will be multiple candidates.
Yeah.
You getting? So
Yeah.
I have training number 1. So how many people are taking this training? Let's say 50 people are training. So there should be a mapping table where these trainings are mapped with the candidates.
Okay. Yeah.
Correct? So for that, there should be one table. Similar to like you have job application. For every job application, there will be, for every job post, there will be multiple applications.
Yeah.
So I have, let's say, a job post for Java developer position, and I have 5 position open. Now hundreds of people will apply for that job. So that job ID will be mapped with that 100 applicants.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are that is nothing but your job application table.
Yeah.
So these are the things you have to include.
So for training program, the columns would be ID, the program name, duration, and the skills.
Those are the basic columns. Sometimes it might be location also, like
Okay.
that training is provided in which city or which location.
Okay.
If it is a location, then again there could be a different table for cities. Like we have table
Yeah.
for cities. So
Yeah.
you never will write the city name. You always map with the ID.
Yeah.
What is the city ID that not training center or training program API. If it is an online mode, then you don't need location. So there should be mode also, like is it online mode or offline mode?
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, I think these are the things. You just make the modifications and then get back to me.
Yeah.
Once it is done, there will be again definitely there will be more changes, but still, I will next step I will connect you with our original tables which we have, so that using those tables you can start working.
Okay.
Because your application will has to be as per our product.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make the changes over the weekend. By Monday, I should be done.
Okay. ठीक.
Okay.
Anything else you have which you want to discuss?
No, it's just this part. I'll make the changes which you suggested.
Okay then. Take care.
Thank you.